Thank you, Cookie, for inviting me to speak today. I'm so sorry I could not attend live as we're starting the new congressional session down here in DC. 20 years ago, the New Jersey Community and Corrections Working Summit mapped out an agenda for a radical transformation in how we approach criminal justice in New Jersey. As majority leader in the Assembly at the time, I was proud to shepherd many of the recommendations through the legislature, which the New York Times hailed as a model for the rest of the nation on prisoner rehabilitation and release. To this day, I consider the small part that I played in that effort to be one of the greatest accomplishments of my political career. You can still find it in my official bio on my congressional website. Over the past few weeks, I have watched with pride as the public's perspective of prisoner rehabilitation appears to be shifting. During the outbreak of COVID-19, in an effort to prevent the spread of the disease, thousands of inmates were taken out of prisons and jails and put in home confinement. The results were and are remarkable. Thousands of men and women were able to serve time at home with their families, contributing to their communities. Recidivism among this population was almost completely eliminated. Since 2021, I've been working with my colleagues to ensure that these people did not have to return to prison. And on December the 12th, I was overjoyed to learn that President Biden had commuted the sentences of 1,500 of these individuals, ensuring that they could continue to serve out their sentences at home. Shortly afterwards, the president commuted the sentences of all but 3 federal death row inmates to life in prison. And while I gladly applaud this progress, there remains so much work to be done. The success of home confinement can be expanded. It showed definitively that we don't need to lock up so many offenders. At the same time, it is imperative that we end the use of for-profit private prisons. The profit motive has no place in our criminal justice system. The use of private prisons erodes the public's faith in the integrity of the American sentencing policy. It leaves us to wonder if the motivation for lengthy mandatory minimums or forcibly detaining immigrants is an evidence-based conclusion or just a submission to the will of private companies profiting from mass incarceration. To address this problem, Congressman Rob Menendez Jr. and I have worked diligently to prevent the expansion of the use of private prisons, whether in Elizabeth or in Trenton, for the detention of immigrant detainees. Recently, I led the opposition to opening a private immigrant detention facility in Trenton, a proposal that is morally unacceptable and it runs counter to New Jersey values. The shift in public opinion on prison reform has been significant since the first summit 20 years ago. The work of people like you has significantly changed how people think about criminal justice. That's no easy feat, and you should all be very proud of the work that you've done. So while our work continues, while we continue to fight for a more fair and compassionate country, know that your work matters and is making a difference in the lives of millions of Americans who have encountered our justice system, as well as their families and the communities from which they come. So I want to thank you. God bless you and the work that you do, and know that I will be there with you and look forward to our continued movement in the right direction.